Hey guys, we are back for another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at the latest exclusive, and that would be the Walgreens exclusive Mystique figure. This is one that I know I'm not alone in saying that I have very much been looking forward to. This is very much right up my alley, so I'm definitely excited to take a look at this one. We've got her here in the standard Marvel Legends packaging. You can see her there in the window, X-Men logo at the bottom. We have got some comic style artwork on the side, and then the back of the box has got different comic artwork, no product shot, and then a bit of a bio. So let's do it. Let's pull her out and take a look. And here she is out of the package, our Walgreens exclusive Mystique figure, one that I know a lot of folks definitely want to get their hands on. She seems to be a little easier to get so far anyway than I think a lot of folks had anticipated. She started popping up all of a sudden, and then the next thing I knew, they were all over town, and then a bunch of other folks were reporting that they were finding her everywhere. So hopefully this one will not cause a lot of headaches for folks. So we're going to start real quick, take a look at articulation, see how she moves around. This is a definite parts reuse figure. As far as I can tell, this is the recent Elektra figure. If you want to use it from recent history, this is that same body. So we're not going to have any real surprises here. We will start, as always, at the head. She can look up a little bit. She doesn't really move too far because of the hair. It's a pretty tight hair sculpt, so it doesn't really allow for much. See, I mean, I've already popped her head off the ball there, so too far back and it's going to pop right off. But she can get a little upwards motion. Down really nicely though, side to side. It's a ball hinge, so there's not a lot of bobble, but you got a little. Arms go out, rotate. Of course we have no bicep swivel, single joint rotating elbow, and then you've got rotation hinge at the wrists. You've got side to side, forwards, backwards, rotation at the upper torso there. Legs go out, forward, backward, thigh cut, double jointed knee, and then of course you've got rocker and hinge down there at those ankles. So if you're familiar with most female Marvel Legends bodies, you're not going to be surprised here. I do think this figure suffers from not having a bicep swivel when it comes to at least one of her accessories, but for the most part, it's exactly what I expected to get, and it works well enough for this type of character. Let's be honest though, the real reason people want this figure is because this is quintessential classic Mystique. And frankly, that is the main reason I wanted her. We have had other Mystique figures in the past. There's a Toy Biz one. There is a Hasbro one as well, with one of her more modern looks in the black costume. But at the end of the day, this is the look that I will have always wanted in figure form, and I think Hasbro really delivered here. Despite the fact that this is supreme parts reuse when it comes to the body itself, for the most part it works just fine. She is a little limited in articulation, but overall the look is there. We do of course have a lot of molded plastic, we've got a lot of molded blue, a lot of molded white, and then of course we've got paint to match things up, and the paint honestly matches pretty well. This white paint to the white plastic matches pretty nicely, the same here. The line work is a little fuzzy, as is generally the case every single time. We've got her gold skull belt here with the sash that comes down the front and the back here. A lot of pleating, a lot of wrinkles in there. She does have a peg hole on the back, which frankly is a bit of an eyesore to me. The Elektra figure had it as well. That's one of the key takeaways as to why I can think that it's that particular body. But it works well enough. The colors are vibrant and saturated. I don't really have any issues with paint rub or any kind of nicks or anything like that on the body itself, so everything is really clean and crisp. The only real issue as far as paint goes is just in general those kind of fuzzy lines where the two colors match, or where they meet up rather. But at this point, I'd say we're all kind of used to it, so it's not anything surprising. It's just one of those kind of things that always slightly bugs me, but when you look at it from far enough away, they almost don't even matter. This head sculpt though is just fantastic. There's really nothing to complain about here. Colors are vibrant, they are nice and bright and saturated. The lips are that dark red kind of crimson color that match the eyebrows. Those yellow eyes, you've got a little bit of the teeth showing. Not so bad like the recent Black Cat figure. They do what they should have done here and just give her some white in that mouth. You've got the skull jewel at the top of her head, and then this hair sculpt. While it is limiting in articulation on the upswing, I think it's just fantastic. It's nicely done, really, really well sculpted, a lot of line work in there, and then of course you've got that paint fading from the red that kind of goes down into the more crimson color, which matches her lipstick and her eyebrows. So it all kind of brings things together a bit. But it's a stunning head sculpt. There's really no other way to say it. It's really what draws my attention to this figure in general, and it's the key characteristic. They absolutely nailed it when it comes to the head sculpt. Now, as far as accessories goes, that's where this figure really ups the ante a bit, because Hasbro absolutely loaded this figure with a lot of very situational and character-specific accessories. We'll start with the weaponry first. So we've got two guns for this particular figure. One that I'm not exactly happy with the gun itself, but it fits Mystique, and that's the little Luger. So we've seen this before with other figures. It's up in gold metallic plastic. I'm just not a fan of this gun. I'm not a fan of the flimsy nature of it, really. It's just really, really tiny, and it bends really easily. It was warped out of the package. I had to fix it, but it definitely fits her. So it's the most befitting weapon that she comes with. And then we've got this big monstrosity, and we've seen this before. I know this came most recently with like the Hydra 2-pack, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I don't understand why she has this gun. If someone knows why she would have something like this, let me know. I mean, it's probably just escaping me as to why she has it, but I don't like it in general. I don't like this gun just as a gun, and then it also really doesn't fit well in her hands. It stretches her trigger finger hand to hold this thing, and then to hold the barrel stretches her gripping hand. So I probably will never use it. I'm sure you can make use of this another way, but it's not for me when it comes to this figure. It's sculpted well enough, and it's in that more metallic gold plastic, but I think it's kind of a weird choice for her. That said, those are not the key accessories for this figure by any means. We have got extra head sculpts. So we've got our standard Mystique head, and of course, you know the thing about Mystique is that she's a shapeshifter, and of course she has a history with a lot of other characters, so they gave her some really specific head sculpts. So I've used them on other figures. So we've got our Rogue shapeshifting head here, which frankly I think is absolutely stellar. I love the Rogue figure to begin with. This kind of brings things up a bit. It's a shame that this particular figure now is so incredibly difficult to get a hold of. Otherwise, I'd like to have a second one to display this particular head on. And then we've got the Lilandra head here, which, I assume we're going to use her for some sort of antagonizing nature with the upcoming, well, some people already have him, Professor X figure. So you've got the ability to change Mystique's shape to make her look like Lilandra, or you've got the ability to change her up and make her look like she's shapeshifting into Rogue, or again, do what I've done here and swap the heads. And one thing that a lot of folks are doing is that they're using the new Silver Sable body with this Lilandra head to make their own Empress Lilandra. And I think for the most part it works well enough. You, of course, have got to take the straps and the back, like the brace off and the belt off, and then you need to figure out something to do with a cape. But if we never end up getting this figure, this is probably the way to go for folks who, like me, have no customization skills whatsoever. So I may go down that road. I do think, the more I look at it, that it kind of works. She, of course, is not comic accurate this way, but I think Hasbro kind of gave us either an option to do something like this, or this is the indication that we're getting a Lilandra down the road. That's just speculation on my part. But as far as what they've done here, I mean, this is fantastic work. The head sculpts in general are stellar, but the ability to reuse these and do other things with them just adds a lot of playability and displayability to this one particular figure. So at the end of the day, this is absolutely a winner. There is no doubt about it. My only actual gripe here is that I think that second larger gun is kind of goofy. I don't really like the look of it when she holds it, nor do I think it fits in her hands very well, but that's easily remedied by just not using it. I think we have a great use of this particular body here. Paint is on point, and then you've got just a stellar standard head sculpt. The colors are all vibrant and they pop and they're saturated, and then you've got those extra head sculpts, which again just give you so much more in terms of displayability and just customization options, that it's a fantastic package all around. They really threw everything they could into this one particular package to make it worthwhile, and frankly, this is right now the exclusive to get. There's no doubt about it. If you're even remotely interested in having a Mystique figure, this is the one. There's no other option as far as I'm concerned right now. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Mystique. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.